What's going on, guys? It's Nick back here with another fishing lure painting video. Today's video is inspired by the conditions today when I went out to fish. The water was really dirty and mucky, and I was looking for something that was really bright and that could stand out in the dirty water, and I saw that I really didn't have too many lures that kind of fit that bill. A lot of my lures were kind of natural looks, and I wanted something definitely that could pop out. So today I'm taking this S style crankbait. This is just a square bill style crankbait, and I'm going to paint a chartreuse and black pattern with a couple accents that are different from maybe most of the chartreuse and black dirty water crankbaits that you've seen before, but I think the pattern's gonna come out pretty cool. I have my new Createx paints in, and I'm really excited to start using these. I think it's gonna open up a lot new patterns and just really overall increase the end result of my baits. So to start out, I'm gonna take this fluorescent yellow Createx and I'm gonna coat the underside and the top of the bait. Next, I'm going to take this fluorescent orange and then just cover in the sides and blending it into those two colors. One thing that I've started doing, instead of heat setting each of the coats, I've been letting the wet paint kind of blend into each other, and I've really liked the results. I think the blending is much more natural and the overall paint just looks a lot better. So instead of heat setting between coats, I'm usually letting it stay wet if I'm trying to blend colors together. And then you see the result with the paint still wet. And at this point, I'm gonna take this Chartreuse metallic mesh, and I'm going to wrap the bait in the mesh. But we're gonna wanna heat set before we put this on there. Before we do any kind of stenciling, we're gonna wanna make sure we heat set. So at this point, we're gonna heat set these two colors and then wrap it in that Chartreuse. So this bait is a little bit harder to cover than most, just based off of its shape. It has kind of a hunchback, and so that spinning motion kind of helps me get this stencil down on the bait really nice and flat, because the most important thing when you do this stenciling is that the stencil is touching the bait so that the colors really stand out against each other and they don't kind of bleed into each other, which they will if you don't get it super nice and flush. Okay, so once the bait is wrapped in the stencil as you want it, basically we're gonna take some white and we're gonna cover all of the areas that we're gonna wanna overlap with more color, because the white really gives you another palette for the other color really to stand out against. You'll see when we're done, but what you could also do is when you shoot the white and then you angle your shot, you can create kind of a 3D effect, because then I'll have the white and the top layer above what we've already sprayed on the bottom. So it gives you a lot more options, and it just makes it the colors really pop out against each other. And then after you have the white on there, you're gonna wanna heat set this one more time. That's gonna give you basically just another opaque white base coat as we kind of started with, and then we can start shooting our top colors. Okay, so that white is now heat set in. We're gonna take fluorescent yellow again, and then we're gonna spray the bait basically from that bottom fluorescent yellow up into almost to the back. We're gonna wanna pretty much hit the entire side. Okay, keeping that fluorescent yellow wet, we're gonna take some Createx Wicked Sepia, and then we're gonna really not go too much into that fluorescent yellow, but we're gonna touch on that and then come up onto the back. Okay, to finish this off, we're gonna take some black and really just shoot the spine in black. I don't want it to be too thick because I want that sepia to show out, but I really just want to merge all of these colors together. All right, and there we go. We're gonna let this dry for a minute and then heat set it, and then we'll take the stencils off and see what we have. And then you see that under fluorescent orange and yellow should be popping through those colors we put on. So it gives it a cool kind of textured look. And to finish this off, we're just gonna put some black dots on each side, and we should be good to go.